I still remember dark green velvet, bottle green velvet covered interior books.
Right.
And I was fascinated by that. And that's when I decided I'll do something. I didn't know what it was, but something to do with interiors. He was standing next to me whistling. So that was the first thing that I learned, that you should be cool, relaxed while you're working. But then later on, it started bothering me. I started thinking, did I do something wrong by quitting? When I told them I am sitting at home doing nothing, बेकार बैठा हूँ, they laughed at me. So they both, husband wife, said, अच्छा आप लोग homework करके आए हो लगता है. Farah's place I was sent to, because that's when she had got those triplets, and
Right.
she had a duplex. उनके स्टेयर से वो गिरे नहीं, इसके लिए छोटा सा कुछ चाहिए था, but for that I had gone to meet her. Coming on top is not, but one is a bad number in business that has gone up. Now in case of designing per se, nowadays AI is taking over.
Everything. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to yet another podcast on Weekly Talks on the Business Network community. Today is our 18th episode, and I have a young man who joins us on the 18th episode, a very dear friend. I've known him for almost 8 or 9 years now, and ever since I've taken a liking to this man. Also because he has a fantastic sense of humor. And frankly, for a very long time, I didn't know what he did till we one day actually decided to talk. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Sammeer Talpade from Realm by Sammeer, as his company is called. He's an interior designer with 35 years experience. Don't go by his young look. He actually has 35 years experience. He has completed many residential projects, big shop, studios, gym. That's very interesting. That's something to talk to him about. Designing gym and hospitality projects, where his attention to detail and quality have always resulted in happy customers. I'll give you a list of some of his customers that will give you a flavor of what kind of designing that he does. So his customers include Dina Mugli, a director of Dina Mugli's Fitness. He's worked for Masgaon Dogs Limited, and he designed some amazing with Masgaon Dogs. Shankar Ravjiani from Vishal Shankar, music director duo. He is also designed some products which are today adorning the homes of people like Raj Thackeray, Madhuri Dixit, Nene, Shankar, Mahadevan, Vandana, Isha Kupkar, and so on. So the list is long. So he is designer to them, and I'm proud to say he's a good friend of mine. So without further ado, let me welcome Sammeer, and let's try and understand his journey. It's not been easy, as you can imagine. Working with celebrities and working for such illustrious companies is not one of these. Plus, his journey, which I've learned, is extremely inspiring, and is something that will inspire most entrepreneurs. So I won't stand between that story and getting you guys getting to know Sammeer. So welcome, Sammeer. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vipul, and thanks for inviting me. The way you explained it sounds too big here. I didn't do all these things. That's what I feel. But anyway, let's go ahead.
Yeah, let's get into it straight away, as we say. So Sammeer and I have something in common, apart from the gray hair on my head and the gray mustache that he has. Uh, I think both of us are graduates in chemistry. Sammeer graduated from Ruparel College in Mumbai in chemistry, and I also graduated in chemistry around the same time. But we have charted different courses since then. I'm not sure whether chemistry had a role in it. It definitely had in my case, because I couldn't handle it beyond a certain point. But let's see whether that's the case. So, Samir, you did a graduation in chemistry and then you straight away got into something completely unknown for chemistry guy. It's interior designing. So can you tell us how that?
Now I can tell you that my chemistry with chemistry wasn't good. So and actually what happened was, let me go back a bit. When I was 7 or 8 years old, it's a small story, but there used to be TV wall units in everybody's homes around that
Yeah,
time.
correct.
So some contractor had come with very beautiful looking velvet covered. I still remember dark green velvet, bottle green velvet covered interior books,
Right.
and I was fascinated by that. And that's when I decided I'll do something. I didn't know what it was, but
Right.
something to do with interiors. That's why I went into that. तो जबरदस्ती का एक कुछ कंप्लीट किया and then I went into interiors. Yes, more of design. I'm more of a design person, so chemistry and whatever I didn't work with me. So this is, yes, I have a good chemistry with design and patterns.
Uh, Okay, great. So how did that happen? I mean, you then got in actually did a formal training.
Yeah, so
Period
I
plan. How
joined.
did that?
So I came to know of something called a school called LS Raheja School of Architecture and Arts.
Right.
That was in Bandra West then. Now
Right.
it is in the East. So mine was the second batch of their 3 year diploma course, a part-time diploma, Saturday, Sunday. So we used to work for the week, and then Saturday, Sunday we used to go for 3 years. So I did that. So during that, I started working as an intern with one of the leading interior architects called Prakash Mankar,
Right.
in my final year. And after that, I started working.
Prakash Mankar is a fairly well-known name in
Yeah.
the industry. So I'm sure there was a lot that you learned from working with firm or maybe even directly with them. Can you tell us a little bit about the early days in designing and
So
some of your experience, Prakash?
first thing I learned from Prakash sir is, I'll tell you, before this, I was learning something to do with computers. So I was working in another firm for 5 6 months, working on computers.
Okay.
But that firm was so very strict. You couldn't talk, you couldn't move around, you couldn't look around, nothing. And from there, I went to Prakash Mankar and Associates, and their way of working is, first they give you a lot of old drawings to you go through, so that you will come to know what kind of design happens and what kind of processes it is. So I was going through, and then suddenly I could hear somebody whistling.
Okay.
So I thought, whistle kaun kar raha hai? This guy is gone now. Once Prakash sir comes, this, because I was used to the earlier office,
Okay.
and that whistle kept on becoming louder.
Okay.
And in say 3 minutes, Prakash Mankar was standing next to me whistling. So that was the first thing that I learned, that you should be cool, relaxed while you are working. That's I mean, you don't have to be unnecessarily tensed, and that really gave me some confidence from day one.
Especially created, give them the space and you need to give them the luxury of them having to work their own.
No, in fact, sometime later, I was working on one of the hotels. I was drawing some curtains, elevation, standard. But he stopped around and he said, "Since you are drawing it so well, let me tell you, once you tie down a curtain, the bottom certain part gets lifted because it's tied at one corner. So you don't have the bottom in the straight line, but it will slightly go up." So all these smaller details, which has remained with me, this was 89,
Oh,
89. So this has remained with me because it was such a, just while passing, he realized, "Okay, this is it," and he simultaneously complimented me. So that has remained, and it has taught me that compliments get you better work done.
appreciation is
Yes.
big. So how long did you work with Prakash?
There for 5 years, from
5 years you worked.
87 to 92.
Okay. And then you decided to branch out on your own.
And then I met someone, ex-student of LS Raheja, who
Okay.
was doing the contracting and he wanted a designer partner.
Okay.
Coincidentally, his name was also Samir.
Okay.
So we decided to be partners,
All right.
and we got 11 jobs. So I asked, no, I mean, I told Prakash that I would be wanting to mm, branch out on my own.
All right.
Would it be okay? So he said, boss, don't do it in a hurry because it's not easy to start on your own.
Correct.
I said, no, I have 11 projects going. I won't be able to give time to the office also. So that happened. And while we were talking to the first client, or that person, husband, wife, hey, that husband said, okay, the designing is decided. You decide with my wife all the color schemes and all, both of you.
Right.
And I'll forward the check later. He went out and within 10-15 minutes came back saying in Mahim, this was in Bandra West. In Mahim, they are burning shops and whatever. This was December 92. I
Oh,
quit in October 92. And in December 92, the riot started on that day.
okay.
And unfortunately, all the clients which were there got affected because they were somehow related to wood or bamboos or whatever
Correct. Correct.
serious related. So they
Correct.
had to close down the shops.
Yeah. It kind of
And
pushed
then,
your back
yeah,
your start.
crashed, crashed down to bottom. And for next 6-8 months, it was bhajan.
You had virtually no business for about 6 months
Yeah,
at the very
absolutely.
start of your career. I mean,
Yes,
your career of your own.
yes.
So, okay. So what did that teach you? Just time usually teach you something, right? Like, you look back
So for,
at
for the
that
first
time.
first couple of months, anyways, everybody was tense. So uh, nobody could do any business or anything. So it
Right.
couple of months or 1.5, 2 months spent in that. But then later on, it started bothering me. I started thinking, did I do something wrong by quitting? Because now I don't have anything and I need to earn something. But
Correct.
what happened was my friends from LS Saheja School of Architecture, my group, when I told them I am sitting at home doing nothing, bekar baita hu, they laughed at me.
Okay.
They started saying I had got some awards and all. So they said ki you are so good, this cannot be happening. You are joking. So what happened was their confidence in me gave me some confidence in myself. तो अगर वो लोग इतना बोल रहे हैं तो कुछ तो होगा. लेट्स कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन गेटिंग समथिंग एंड सो दैट प्रोपेल्ड मी थोड़ा सा आगे गया फॉर अनदर 4-5 months and then I started getting jobs.
So the from what you're saying, Samir, what occurs to me is that it's important when somebody is down to give them that positive reinforcement. Sometimes that can be a lifesaver. In your case, it's a
Yes.
career saver.
And your network of friends really helps.
I mean, obviously, after that, your career has taken off. So, it's been what now? 30, almost 30, 34 years.
35. This
5
May
years
I
of,
finished 35 years.
right. So, I mean, I'm sure you've seen plenty of highs and plenty of challenges also. So, can you take us through some of those highs of your life and then also some of the challenges? I'm sure it's a fascinating story.
One of my friends, very close friends, staying close by in Thar, sold his bungalow, and a new building, 12-story building was coming up there about 20 years ago, I think. So the new, and since I was his friend, so I was doing his house. He had 2 floors, and then somebody else, because they were in the same building, somebody asked me to do up their house, so I did their house. And there was a new member who had come there to come to stay on the 12th topmost floor. I had not heard his name. I'm really bad at names and really bad at watching movies and TV serials and all. But there was somebody called Shekhar Ravjiani.
Okay.
Then I did my homework and I came to know he's a really good music director of a duo, Vishal Shekhar,
Right.
and they've got Filmfare awards and all. So, and probably he knew something about me. So they had called me for meeting and whatever. And I and my wife, who's also my partner, and she's also a interior designer and textile designer. So we went to their place and started talking, and then just slipped the point about filmfare and whatever. So they both, husband wife, said, "अच्छा आप लोग homework करके आए हो लगता है." So they also had done homework and asked my friend that, and he had told them that I am not good at all these statistics. But then we went on to do that. That was a real high because I never worked with a celebrity of that kind. Then for a small help or something, Farah's place I was sent to because that's when she had got those triplets and
Right.
she had a duplex. उनके स्टेयर से वो गिरे नहीं इसके लिए छोटा सा कुछ चाहिए था बट फॉर दैट आई हैड गॉन टू मीट हर so all these small highs for first timers, those were there. Recently, a government corporate guest house, corporate to nahi, government guest house of Mazgaon Docks Limited. 3 years ago, we did only the soft furnishings of one of the floors of that because somebody else had worked on the design.
Right.
But when they saw the results, they decided to give us the next floor, which was 5,000, almost 5,000 square feet, entire floor. And 1.5 years ago, we did that, which had banquet halls, two big, huge rooms, where a lot of naval officers and Indian home minister, defense minister, they come and they found it in, they used to have meetings in five-star hotels. But since it has been made, they do those meetings here.
At the guest house.
That's a high.
So, so your space which you designed for Mazgaon Dock is getting visited by, obviously,
Yeah.
stay there. So, oh, that's amazing. And also, can you walk us through, some of the challenges that you faced along the way, because I'm sure that's taught you a lot as well.
I follow one marketing genius you can called Dan Kennedy, and he always says one coming on top is not, but one is a bad number in business. In the sense, I realized that I didn't realize that earlier. ये क्या बात कर रहा है? But then I used to have one printer, and it stopped working. I used to send newsletters, and it was not working once. And I had to run around because I used to do it on A3 size paper, print, color printing, and whatever. So when I went out to do that, it was too much of a headache. So I bought another one. We started the soft furnishings, and we had a really good tailor who was handling everything. And because of his staying conditions, when he was sick, he was given wrong injections in 3 consecutive days, and he died suddenly.
Okay.
And I didn't have a future in that field. Suddenly, there was nothing. So that way, that was really bad for that time. But again, one number was bad. So I've learned from that. Somebody came that time who had worked with him, and right now I have another one. Right now, also my tailor is enjoying his village stay. But I have one who works on computerized quilting.
Right.
So I have an option. And similar smaller problems, setbacks have always happened. But in so many years, you came to know कि चलो कुछ ना कुछ तो आएगा. And somebody comes always is there for help. You should always be ready to ask.
Right. So let's take a question here at this stage from somebody in the audience. So, Jenny Matthew has this question. You mentioned computerized tailoring. I thought I'll take a question. So, her question is, how has technology influenced your approach in interior design over the years?
When I joined, we used to do drawings on sliders. T square का अगला version, was a drawing table, drawing board, and a slider. We used to work on that entire drawing done with hands. Obviously, I started doing AutoCAD. That's why Prakash Mankar got computers in the office. Uh, from that, I started doing 3D Max, and I used to do a lot of views. So what happened was, and I still believe that elevations, I don't really believe in elevations because most of the clients don't understand them. Because once you give layouts and elevations in the early stages, I've seen a lot of people asking, अच्छा दूसरा alternative मिलेगा क्या? One more alternative होगा क्या? Because they just wanted their money's worth probably. But because of technology, 3D Max I started using and started doing 3D views. Now also I get it done. But now obviously the softwares are different. But what started happening was people, instead of layout which they don't understand, the elevations which they don't understand most of the times, instead if you show them a view, what started happening was, oh, my house, living room or my house or my bedroom is going to look like this, and the approval started coming like this.
Coming quicker.
Yeah. Only thing would be, okay, I don't like the yellow color. Can it be blue or whatever?
Okay.
Now I have those two colors in front of me, so that came fast. But that's the maximum I have to stretch. So that is one. Now in interiors, otherwise also when you're doing hospitality or hotels, this has come long time ago. But earlier it used to be on the table, the side table, all the switches and buttons to call people. Now it is on apps, and you can, which is home automation, which is also in commercial. Obviously, it came in commercial first, and then it has come to home automation. So the automation, so a lot of people in interiors, you can ask people to, I mean, convince them to go for it, because a lot of earlier people used to think old people will have problem with technology. They have problem with technology, but not with the ease of technology. What technology gives them is ease, and a lot of older people have gone for home automation because उनको उठना नहीं पड़ता है continuously to start on the fan or whatever, either Alexa or apps. That's what has happened, and that has gone up. Now, in case of designing per se, nowadays AI is taking over.
Everything is technology driven now, and you obviously adapted all of that.
I have to, because that's actually not taking away jobs. It might later on, but it is really as I said, from drawing boards to computers, it's the similar thing. From computers to, or rather, some other help. This technology, AI, is there, saving time.
Okay, so we'll take one more question.
Yep.
So something that I wanted to ask, but I think Meera Sawan has put it very nice. So Meera has asked, hi Sammeer, you worked on some incredible celebrities like Shankar and projects for Madhuri, etc. So our question is, what unique challenges or inspiration did personalities bring to you? So, my question to you was similar. I mean, what is the Raj? I mean, how is it that you managed to work? I'm sure that's a question a lot of people mind. So why don't you just once and for all tell us?
No, celebrities, getting to know celebrities is a luck. Seriously a luck part. But working for anyone, including the celebrities, since we are talking about dream home, and we are talking about their dream home, not my dream. So listening to them properly, giving them all the, in fact, some of the times people say I don't start very soon, early, because I take really good time to ask them a lot of questions and know their likes, and even travel, which is the place they like most in their lifetime and whatever, because then from there something can be incorporated in their bedroom or somewhere. So those are the clues I get. And while talking to them, I come to know whether they are reticent, or they like talking, or they like company, or they like a home to be a retreat, or a party place, or whatever. So basically, it's that. And when talking to celebrities, obviously they are celebrities, so they are used to a lot of fan following and a lot of adulation. So if you do that a bit, you get your work done faster.
So all those people who are wanting to work with celebrities, here's a tip. Like, that's that's the script, right? So,
So just being a bit diplomatic helps.
okay, so yeah. So let's come to the topic of this whole conversation. It is about designing your dream. When we say your dream home, we're talking about like the dream home of the person,
Yeah.
how your home you're designing. Now, typically, most people say we want a dream home, but you know, bringing it into life and actually maybe designing it is not is easier than it sounds. It looks good once it's over, but I'm sure the process of firstly thinking of it and designing it, and then after you designed it, actually to make it happen, are three different. So, can you walk us through how do you make it? I mean, on this podcast, we had some other creatives as well. So, one of the things that really interests me particularly is what is the process that you employ to actually create what? So, if you can just tell us that.
So basically, as I said, I asked a lot of questions,
Right.
just to go to the depth of the thing, what they want. Because many times what happens is, फोटो में देखा अच्छा है, मेरी बहन के पास है, मेरे चाचा के पास है, but that is not design. Because as we say, though it's a cliched term, form follows function, but it means a lot. Because just because it looks good, if you do that, then अच्छा center table पैरों को लगता है, because जगह नहीं छोड़ी है. So something like that. So instead, it should be functional and look good, obviously. And so that is my first criterion. And then try and, nowadays, a lot of vastu and feng shui things are happening. So in the beginning, I asked the client, whether they believe in it. If they do, I really officially go after it. If they don't, I try and not cross it. Try to incorporate that anyways in my design in some way, because then what happens are, many times somebody else will come on in and then say कि आपके designer ने something गलत किया है, and they will be spending more on doing something else. So I take care of that, and then designing, as I said, the standard structure, whatever they want, I try and give, unless it's technically wrong, and then too, I'll try to convince them. If they say कि नहीं मुझे लाल ही window चाहिए, मुझे अच्छी लगती है, so that's okay. I mean, if I'm not going to stay there, only tell them कि अगर कोई गाली देता है तो मेरा नाम मत बोलना. But anyway, that's a part of joke. But that's what. So ideally, whatever they want, I try and give it, but in a way which will last for a long time and which will not look. So many times what happens is, when people do the designing on their own, they check out magazines or interior design magazines, or nowadays online. So Pinterest mainly. A lot of designers go through Pinterest before designing anyways. But what happens is, then what happens, this corner is 2007 का है, this is 2011 का है, ये living room का part is 2016 का है, ऐसा दिखने लगता है. So if you can design it together initially and then maybe execute it over a period, it will still look together. And I'm not into the fads, because if somebody tells me latest, even if when I go to buy something, if somebody says if this is latest, I don't go for it, because 6 months down the line it won't be latest. So I usually try and go for classic design, which classic in the sense which the style remains the same, only a modern or contemporary version of that. Uh, so my favorite style is Art Deco, which was in 19 late 20s or 30s. It came up,
Okay.
but the things, furniture and things done that time and
Right.
things in Art Deco done right now are totally different looking, but the principles and the design basics are the same, and they look very very opulent. So I believe in hospitality industry, 5 star में अगर हम जाते हैं, the way we feel, the service we get
Right.
is what everybody should feel, even at their place or even in their offices, or even office ka reception should feel like a 5 star reception.
Right.
That's my thinking.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, as we go along, different people have different tastes. What they want is going to be.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure all of those things come in. So,
Okay, one more thing in this is
yeah.
Finishing it on time helps, because otherwise then people want to throw you out.
Yeah.
Interiors is such a thing that
very, very, so many cases of people saying that I was going up my house and taken 6 months, 8 months.
So that's why taking more time initially, I believe in that, because what happens is once even the material is decided, you can buy in bulk in together and start working together at a time.
Okay. So now let me ask you specifically what you've done for Madhuri Dixit. And so if you can just walk us through that, because I'm sure there's a lot of interest in knowing
what happened was, again going back long time ago, there used to be a program on TV called Lifestyles of Rich and Famous.
Yes.
There was one fully white dressed Hollywood guy who I don't remember his name, but he used to scream and talk about extremely filthy rich would be a small word in front of those riches.
Right.
Those kind of things they would show on, I think, Sunday mornings on Doordarshan, and that's when I came to know your thinking of rich is not the rich.
Right.
You just don't imagine. You can't imagine what is the richness. So I wanted to do something which will be sold very expensively without doing too much of work. But I wanted to start with porcelain crockery with gold plating and all. I never ended up knowing where to go for it.
Right.
But when I was working with Mankar sir, we were doing polyester fiber fill. You started using polyester fiber fill for bedspreads and cushion covers and all the soft furnishings. And around the time I was quitting, that is the time Polyfill company came up with B2C of that. So it used to come in small packages like a bolster. The roll used to be in bolster. So I decided to work with that and create small stuff. And that's how we started. And it went on from that. Some people bought baby quilts which we made. They went to Australia, migrated to Australia. There people so they wanted more, and that's how it went on. And after a while, people started saying, "Arey, tera cheez fatta nahi hai." I didn't know how to sell more to them, so I started making a slightly costlier version and saying, "See, you can give this to them, to some other of some relations or whatever," and that's how it started going up. And one of these days, my client Lena Mogre, who used to have a big chain of
Yeah.
gyms, which I had also designed. So she started taking bedspreads from me to gift to her friends and customers and celebrities who were mainly celebrities. So that's how uh, it went to Madhuri Dixit. Madhuri had once earlier inaugurated or rather launched Leena's book on fitness,
Right. Yeah.
and next month was her birthday. So she took things from me, and she had taken this, has been taking this gift from me a lot, and others also have been. So I have a friend who was with Raj Thackeray in JJ School of Arts, his classmate,
Oh,
and a long time ago, because Raj Thackeray is a passionate collector of Indian heritage and art. So, and that's what I am passionate about. We promote Indian heritage through our soft furnishing. So we make bedspreads out of Kanjivarams and Paithanis and Banarasis and other things. And uh, some of the semi-transparent fabrics uh, are used in either table linen or uh, sheer curtains. So one of the uh, Kanjivarams, red and
right.
black Kanjivaram, very opulent looking one, was selected by my friend to give it to his friend Raj Thackeray. And again, Leena Mogre's son, who's also a director, they were working on a Bajirao movie in Marathi,
Yeah.
and Shankar Mahadevan gave music
Music.
to that, and one of the Narayan Pethi silk bedspreads was given to gifted to him. So that's how my stuff has gone to the celebrities. Yes.
So it's actually the product part of your business that has got you celebrated in by and large. Yeah. Yeah. So and this is. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about those products so far discussed? Your interior,
So
like
as I said, I do pets. मेरी as I say पर्दे की दुकान नहीं है. I'm into soft furnishing, but
right,
soft furnishing product styling. So I do bedspreads, cushion covers, bed linen. I mean bed runners, table linen, table runners, all kinds of table linen. Curtains तो सभी करते हैं, but we also do say something like stories on embroidered stories or printed stories on curtains or embellishments like crystals. There is no upper limit because I've realized people uh, want something different. So you should be always ready with it. But while I do a lot of things which are very modern and which is normally done by a lot of people, we want to always promote Indian heritage. So from real, not just silk, but things like kalamkari and bandhani. And though I don't do too much of Rajasthani stuff because Rajasthan is famous for it. We
yeah,
started doing that because India is famous for a lot of fabrics,
right,
traditional fabrics. But when it came to soft furnishings, only Rajasthan was really known for it. So that's why we decided, I and my wife, who's also a textile designer, we decided to work on those fabrics and have been coming up with bedspreads or cushion covers using kalamkaris or uh, all different kinds of fabrics actually.
and I remember you telling me sometime that none of your designs you actually repeat even in your product. So if you design,
Actually,
let's say
for
something,
high-end products, what I do, my exclusivity or my mainstay is, say, if five friends buy Paithani bedspreads together,
right,
none of them would be the same. So that's what I take care of. When I buy, I don't buy two things, similar things ever, because that's when that's the exclusivity. And a lot of NRIs have bought out. A lot of my NRI friends have are resellers, not because they need the money, because I have realized Indian NRIs want to spread the culture abroad, and that's why they become resellers. So mainly they want to spread our culture there, and a lot of people NRIs have bought my stuff, and that's why I take this. ऐसा नहीं हो जाए कि अरे मेरा भी वही है. So that's
Yeah.
why for higher end products I don't repeat anything.
None of your products are like the other. So
I
there's
hope
no
so.
way you
Yes.
can. So there's no way you can show us something. Okay, this is the catalog or the catalog
I
you
don't
can
have a
do it.
catalog, but I have. I'll try and show you certain.
Yeah, if you can show us some of the stuff you've done, because I'm sure
Yeah.
that is very very.
So I'll disappear for a while because it will come on my virtual window.
Yeah, sure.
So this is one of the Patini bedspreads. This is a Kanjivaram black and green one. This one has kalamkari cushions used. This one has kalamkari cushions.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about.
Oh.
So this is Dr. Nene. I will come to that later.
That is at Madhuri Dixit's house.
Yeah. I'll come to that later. I'll first show you.
Yeah, sure.
This was done in Mazgaon Docks 3 years ago. So this was already there, but this is what made them give things to me.
Looks like any 5-star hotel.
Yes. So what happened was next year I did this, their commercial kitchen,
Right.
then their banquet hall, their rooms, this is a part of the living room part of the suite, bedroom of the suite. One of the bathrooms of that, this particular thing is in cement, but built in Indore by a BNI member and sent to Mumbai. This basin is also matching cement, a lot of accessories. Then this is their waiting, because the celebrities or the high-end customers of their BNI, I mean not BNI, and Mazda Talks, while they are in their room, top guys come to meet them. That's where they wait. Now another one is, recently I did a villa in Goa. So on the left is the 3D view of what was going to happen, and the right one is the actual one. So we try and go as close as possible to the reality. And these are some of the bedspread. This is Narayan Peti. This is a hand woven vegetable dyed Mangalgiri cotton fabric. Yeah. And a divan set made in that. Again, similar ethnic stuff. This is again a brocade divan set. Some other cushion covers. I do a lot of baby quilts, comforters. So as the doctors say, pediatrics se leke geriatrics. So I also do that. Babies se leke centenarians tak, anything made to order. So, and when I talk about Madhuri Dixit and all, because it was gifted to her
Right.
by by someone, I never had a photograph.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And few so months ago, नहीं एक 1.5 साल पहले, one of my friends from BNI
Okay.
uh, sent me this Dr. Nene's photograph saying he is because they have all heard that my stuff has gone to Madhuri.
Yeah. Okay.
But then she sent me this, and suddenly I was like, "अभी रुलाएगी क्या?" क्योंकि I was waiting for this particular one. So networking has really helped me, uh, and yeah. So these were sorry, I am running out of the question.
Okay. So you touched upon something very important, and which is the kind of core of what we discussed, which is business network. You've been a BNI member now for what, almost 10 years?
This is my 10th year. Yes.
10th year. Yeah. So, and you've been consistently at it for the last 10 years. So what does business network mean? And
I
what
don't know
does it,
what
I
it
mean,
means.
when I say what it means, I mean, so why would you do business network?
So that's what when somebody called me. Actually, one friend Milind Deshpande called me. He's Makran Deshpande, the actor, his brother. So he was one of the core members of Evolve, my chapter, and he called me. So for 3 months I waited because I thought MLM hoga, kuch na kuch hoga. This was 10 years ago, and then he kept on insisting कि अरे आ जा यार, मैं ऐसे सब धंधे करता नहीं हूँ, MLM नहीं करता हूँ and all that. So then I decided, chalo, once I'll go and see what is happening. I went there and I loved it because this was a totally different thing. It was like normally you go to meet people one on one or call them in the office, and this is like that time it was I was the 51st member of Evolve. That was like 49 members then, and so many people talking about this that I didn't know what to do, where to look for, and I because I was guided by some of my friends who were already in BNI in Pune and in Chennai. So I gave the right pitch, uh, and in the first week I got orders.
Right.
So that really helped me, and that and I decided in BNI that whatever comes my way, I will take it. So that's how I've grown. So I've handled the biggest of BNI Mumbai's shows,
Correct.
and that has shown me because as an interior designer or a soft furnishing designer, how will I know how to set up a menu? बट फॉर LTTs मेन्यू सेट करना होता है सबके लिए, वेजिटेरियंस का देखना, नॉन वेजिटेरियंस का देखना, जैन. So BNI teaches you everything, and you come across a lot of people, and you realize that it's not just for you. You can network, or rather connect them to others whom you know. That's what BNI teaches you. Life skills it teaches you. Actually, I wouldn't be talking like this so much if I were not in BNI. I was really a shy person. और ये अभी मेरे chapter के members and even you guys, if you hear that, जूते पड़ेंगे because I don't stop talking normally.
So, I mean, I'm sure, I mean, and we've all known stories and things like that where, it's more than just business. I mean, obviously business is there, but there are the lots of things that you gain as a result of being, for example, you mentioned photograph, which you wanted
Yes.
for a long time, and
Suddenly
somebody
there was proof
actually
कि मैं
spotted it.
fake नहीं रहा हूँ. I'm not lying. So there was a
Correct.
proof now suddenly.
So that is one part. I mean, I'm sure nobody
No,
will.
but that's what networking does on one aspect. but there are always people to help you. And there have been, during even lockdown, a lot of people have benefited. In fact, can I cite
Yeah, of
one small example?
course.
So there is one very big trainer from BNI from South India,
Right,
and you must be knowing his name, and you must be knowing him. He's handling the INC this time.
right.
But his friend's son had cancer and was looking for a specific doctor from Mumbai who was into homeopathy, Dr. Praful Vijaykar. So
Right.
our Mumbai head then, Hemu Suvarna sir, had an inquiry saying if anybody knows Dr. Praful, there is a query for him and somebody wants to connect ASAP. So I spoke with Hemu sir, got him connected, and the best part is after say a few months later, 6 months later, it was, of course, that will take a long time to totally recover. But in 6 months, that was the danger was gone. And in fact, Dr. Praful was so uh, taken up by this child who was in college, I think 11th standard.
Yeah, I remember
He,
that. Yes, yes.
yeah, so he was saying कि मैं तो तुमको तो anyways ठीक कराऊंगा करूंगा ही, but you are so good. Homeopathy needs such good doctors. If you're, he was thinking of going for medicine, but he said, come to homeopathy. We need really good doctors like you. So
It's
probably all good which ends.
life transforming.
Yes, yes.
So you can also be on the what we call as the DCT, director consultant, and I'm sure it's a lot of learning there. So can you tell us how that has helped in a business and life? Because I want people to understand that networking is not just about connecting; it's also about learning the process. And one of
So,
our core philosophies is lifelong learning.
so simple thing, yes, lifelong learning, and that's one of my favorites because simple thing is I'm a 10-year-old member. Tomorrow I might learn something from a 1-year-old member, and also a startup. Needn't that just my age is not a guarantee that I will know everything. So you have to be open to that. And simple thing is use that somewhere for your benefit later. So that's what BNI has taught me. And a lot of people, uh, really senior people and really knowledgeable people like you are there, which keep, no, no, seriously, uh, which keeps everybody from the DC group humble because uh, everybody is a king in our field, our own field. But यहाँ पे एक से एक marketing and networking kings are there and emperors and empresses are there. So you learn from everyone and oh, see, I'm a short guy, you know that. But BNI DC group has helped me really soar in these tall personalities. Yeah, I've used a good phrase.
All right. So, Samir, while we were leading up this discussion, I remember you mentioned that there are a few philosophies that you have in life. So each one is
Couldn't say.
guided by some philosophy.
Oh, okay. So
So, you mentioned something Richard Branson had mentioned, and which is something that you hold very
no,
dear.
actually, Dan Kennedy.
Dan
Uh,
Kennedy.
yeah. So he had mentioned, and I follow that. Uh, I heard from him in one of his talks is if you have a product or a service which can benefit someone else or improve their lifestyle or life,
Right.
then it becomes your duty to sell it to them.
Wow. Okay.
So that helps you in uh, increase your sales potential also, take it higher up also.
Right.
Because if you really feel that why doesn't he go for not necessarily my product, not necessarily my service, that's where networking comes into play. So if I know that I can get that person connected to someone I know and that will benefit this person, I need to do it.
Your
I have
duty,
to do it. It's my duty to do it.
and that's a great philosophy to have. Yes. Who thinks that amazing?
That actually, I think it has come through BNI again, because a lot of people are there. They influence you a lot. Please, simple. So to just keep your ears open.
So Samir, I had asked you for an hour of it. We are coming close to that hour. We are
Yes.
almost 6 minutes into the hour. So I'll have you one last question. So what next for Samir and for Rel? How do you see yourself 5 years, 10 years from now,
Uh,
or maybe even longer? And
no, no.
not
That's not in my hand. But yes, 10 years from now, hopefully, enjoying my life and hopping around from places to different places. But right now, I'm looking forward to doing a lot of residences and um, hotels, maybe outside of outside of Mumbai, in Maharashtra, in other states of India. Right now, I'm working on a couple of bungalows in Ajmer, and thanks to Mazgaon Dogs Limited, somebody recently stayed there and inquired who has designed it, and by the month end, I'll be going to Gurgaon to see a three-bedroom house, which I will be doing it. So that is there, and in the really recent future, uh, working on a book to uh,
so. What is it
yes,
going to be about? Is it going to be about designing, or I mean, what is the book going to be about?
it's going to be about. I'll again, while I'll explain, I'll uh, disappear. This is about people who are really have worked, really have money, but they haven't, because of their constraints, haven't been able to update their living conditions or lifestyle, or to up to their status, or who
Wow.
want to grow in their or they want something bigger, better, or even hoteliers who want. So basically, that's what the book is going to be. I'll be soft launching it very, very, very soon, so you can see the mm, the cover is ready. Everything is ready. Just final touch the remaining.
Great. I mean, wish you all the best, because book launch is also a very interesting project, like maybe
You know.
designing the book. And wish you all the very best. Thank you for your time, and I wish you many more years of designing green home. And
Thank you for your time, all of you guys, all the friends who are on line, and so this is how I play with Zoom. Thanks to BNI again, but yes, thanks for your time. Thanks for making uh, me talk a lot. I love talking, and thanks for reminding me that it's 1 hour. And
well,
thanks
I
a
mean,
lot.
I didn't actually realize that it was an hour. I just felt like I was generally having a chat
Thanks a lot,
like
everyone.
always.